We're looking at Nigeria at 62, tackling post-independence challenges and discussing this with me. Starting from my immediate left, I have Dr. Samson Isibo. Thanks for joining me, Doctor.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And next to him is the immediate past chairman of ASU, Unibank chapter, Professor Julius Iyasele. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Philip, for having me this morning. Good morning, viewers.
Well, it's been over, let's say, 6 decades, and we've been on as a country, Nigeria, looking at the challenge that took place courtesy of the colonialization we had, and that dovetailed to our independence at 1960. And we've been having ethnocentric challenges and also heterogeneous challenges as it is. But can we say, starting with you, Professor Julius Iyasele, can we say that Nigeria has hope to recover from all of this that it's been faced with? We have abuse of office, that some would say. We have this Squandemanian mentality and all that comes with bribery, corruption. And now, what can you say about Nigeria? Is there hope to recover at 62?
I thank God that you called me Julius. I'm not Amos. You know, Amos in the Bible is a prophet of doom. So, because I'm not a prophet of doom, I'll posit this morning, at least there's a window of hope for recovery. Because we have all the paraphernalia in this country. What we don't have yet is wisdom, just wisdom. And so if we get that right, and we're able to bring in the good crop of persons to occupy positions of governance, I'm sure that we can recover very, very fast.
Okay.
Because it was there. If you look at Dubai itself, Zayed came and just gathered about just 10 young men and said, go around the world and look for the best facility you have anywhere in the world. Let's repeat it and even do better in Dubai. And today, Dubai has become a tourist nation. And so we can recover because we have everything. God has bequeathed this country with all resources to become great. The only thing we don't have is that knowledge, is that visionary leader. That is all that is required.
Okay, some have said that the existence of Nigeria or its origin seemed to be a mistake in terms of the Northern Protectorate, the amalgamation, Northern and Southern Protectorate coming together by Lord Lugard. Do you feel same, Dr. Samson?
No, I don't. I'm not in line with him.
Okay.
We cannot recover from this quagmire we are in this country.
So there's no hope for Nigeria?
There is no hope for Nigeria. I have my reasons, and I will give it. You've rightly said, the way we were banded together during the pre-independence era, the Southern Protectorate and the Northern Protectorate, we are different poles apart. But this, our British people, due to their selfishness and their aggrandizement, they merge us together, not basing it on religious, cultural, and other things. So, binding us together since then, there have been no progress, no peace, no development. So, when a foundation is not appropriate, the thing that you planted on it will collapse. You see? So, my friend, since they bind us together, things has never been the same. It's only for some time when we have some good leaders like Obafemi Awolowo and some of the other leaders in other regions. That is the only time Nigeria moves forward. But since then, nothing changes. So what can solve this problem, if we want to be sincere with ourselves, is to restructure this country back to the pre-independence area.
Don't you think you will not be sincere if you say that? Because if you look at what is obtainable for such heterogeneous people that we are, is obtainable that a federal system of government can make it work. And looking at what we're made up of, what comprised us as a nation, became necessary for us to have that kind of system of government where we have the federal system. Now, don't you think if federal system of government is properly followed, like the federalism as it is, that would go a long way to solve these problems rather than what you said earlier?
You've rightly said it. Are we practicing the federal system of government in the way it should be practiced? Instead of the parliamentary system, we are practicing unitary system, which has bedeviled this country. Most of when these military people, the Northerners, came in, they bastardized the whole system, and we are now operating in disguise, unitary system, which cannot augur for us. A governor protested a few days ago. He said we are practicing parliamentary system, but you are now imposing two systems of governance in the country, one for the north, one for the south. What I mean is that you said everybody we have the federal, the state, and the local government. But what we are seeing now is only one system from the top that is dictating, doing everything. See the Amotekun issue, I'm talking about the insecurity now. How can a government, a federal government, give a sort of approval to the northern parts for them to have a AK-47 for their state local police, whereas the southern side, you refuse to approve it for them. It is very clear. It is not hearsay. We saw it on TV. We saw them with AK-47 in Katsina State, whereas Amotekun, Ebubeagu, and the Benue something were not giving. Are we not in the same country? And you are saying that things will progress. Cannot progress. You can't recover from it because instead of one system, we are practicing two systems of governance. One for the north, one for the south. How can we match these two together?
Okay, let's get to Professor Iyasale. Professor Iyasale, from his submission, it's obvious that he's not on the part of the federal system of government. What is your take?
A federal system of government. In fact, I'm not looking at any system here. Okay. I'm talking about men of goodwill. That's why I'm talking about visionary leaders. A visionary leader will come and change whatever system that this country, and I'll decide on whatever system this country requires. For instance, like he said, I agree with you at the level when you talk about that the constitutional makeup, that is what directs what needs to be done in this country, is not correct. I'm talking about the Nigerian constitution.
Because the constitution is faulty.
You are aware that if you go through the Nigerian constitution, there are so much of lacuna that you have in there, and then the constitution, for instance, does not provide for everybody. If you go there, you find that it is only one religion group that is recognized in Nigeria and all that. So if you look at all of that, you find that there's a faulty foundation, like he has said. But then if you have somebody who knows what to do, he will be able, because that is the definition of a leader now, somebody who is able to get everybody together.
We have seen election process. We have seen how people come into power.
Yes.
To an extent, yes, it seems like it's an endorsement. You just have somebody from one party being endorsed, and the next thing he becomes the leader. So how do we solve this issue of getting the right leaders?
Yes, of course. 2023 is an amazement. The processes that we have started now, what is culminating towards the 2023 election, is amazing. If you look at what we have in the public now, of course we have three political parties at the forefront now, and you have seen the formation, you have seen what is going on. Of course, two of them are going by the normal, what we used to have as a cultural culture. I mean the political culture, that is the cosmetic type of politics that we have always had in this country. But then you have one, it is not now the way it used to be. You have a movement in the other political party. The movement is being directed by the people and not the man at the hands of who is leading as the presidential flag bearer. It's not him. It's the people.
So it's beyond this individual.
It's beyond him. And so these opportunities, this style, is going to grow. You understand? Say somebody came at a time and brought what we call option 8-4 as a method of choosing a leader, and you are saying that brought the best, way of conducting elections in this country and all that. But then they came up with security issues and all of that, and then they have jettisoned that. But now you have a movement, and so that is why I called it an amazement. We are all going to watch and see how this group, will snowball into the 2023 general election.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's quickly look at this point. You said there is no hope for Nigeria, looking at the present realities. Now we are preparing for the 2023 elections, and political parties have churned out their candidates, and presidential campaign starts in earnest in Wednesday, September 28th. Now, do you see the electoral process as a way of raising hope for Nigeria?
There's no hope.
Still?
No hope. Let me. My friend was academical in his presentation. We know I'm a politician. I'm in the system. We have seen what is going on. Let me tell you, it is only we, the Southerners, who are talking about issues, manifesto, this and that. Go to the North. They don't care about all those things. All they are after is, who is our man that is going to be in authority? They are after authority, power. They don't need this manifesto, security, economy, this and that. Waiting concern Northerners with those ones. See what is happening with the PDP now. You know that they are caliphate. They are they are shifting emas to behind that man in PDP. You see, and we are talking. Hey, there is a third force. There is a this. My friend, third force, yes, on social media. And we have to be sincere with ourselves. Social media goes nowhere. We are talking of the grassroots something. We are talking of the structure. Let campaign will start tomorrow now.
But don't you think if a change has to take place,
yes,
it has to involve all sector, even including social media? Because we are looking at the need for a political change, an active change, and the social media also is part of it, and that could transform into votes.
How many of us are having this thing? These are for the spreaders. How many of us in the villages or in the hamlets that are having this one, where you be using social media or something? Hey, this one is having 1 million mamas. Let us go to the field.
So without being economical with the truth, sir,
yes.
Without being economical with the truth,
yes.
Are you saying we are still going back to the same order where we came from?
We are still going back to that order. That order, we mark my word, you know me. Say Dr. Sibo said this in last time. We are still going to the same.
So how do we now tackle this new force?
What I've already said it. We need the restructuring.
Okay.
Wait a minute. We need the restructuring. Let every region. What is a big deal there? But some part of the country they refuse. That no, they won't let them go. What is restructuring? They will padded the constitution. They will do whatever they want with it, and they tie us down. So whatever, even we pray, God will come down and take over the country. Whether you are, who is the foresighted leader among the three? Who has not been in government before? Is it Tinubu? Is it Atiku? Is it your obedient Obi? Has it not been in the governance before? What has been the outcome? What are they going to do now? What, my friend, we are there. There's nothing will change.
Okay, what can you say fascinates you about the progress Nigeria has made from 1960 to date, looking at our founding fathers?
Well, what fascinated me is that I'm more poorer than I was before. Oh. The people are suffering. The masses are suffering. Nothing to gain. We only see those people who have the chances to be in power, accumulating wealth, embezzling our money, and making us to be more poorer. We are the poorest country in the whole world now. We are, our debt in the country now is over 45 trillion. What What am I happy about? What have I gained from it?
But I guess your statistics on that being the poorest country in the world is wrong.
No, no.
Okay, now,
I do not.
Let's come back to
you.
you.
Yeah.
Let's come back to
Yeah.
you. Now,
Yeah.
we've had military interregnum.
Yeah.
In the 6 decades Nigeria have gone through,
Yes.
we've had military interregnum, and for the better part of 1999 till date, we've had non-interruption of democratic rule.
Yeah.
Now let's make a comparative study and analysis of the 4 decades on one part, and then the 2 decades of non-interrupted democratic rule.
Yes.
Would you say there's much progress or an out of progress looking at the democratic rule from 1999 as against that of the 4 decades we had earlier?
Have we really changed from any military to civilian or whatever? Because it's just people who dropped the military uniform and took on agbada now. These are the same persons that are, if you look at since how many years now, Obasanjo was there as a military leader. He has also been there as a civilian leader. Then this same president, Buhari, was there as a military leader. He's now here again as a civilian leader.
But the style of government changed.
The style of governance
from dictatorial to democratic.
I have not seen him really change though, because it took him to be convinced himself before he agreed to sign the electoral bill, in spite of the fact that they kept on pressurizing and telling him and all that. It has to come from his own mind before he accepted and all that. You cannot say that the style has changed if he has the Senate, Nigerian Senate, in his pocket. So how can you say that that style has changed? How can you now say that it is not a one-man show that we are running as a country? I don't think it has really changed. But the truth about it is like, that is why I said a visionary leader. Because whether you are looking at the military or you are looking at the civilian government, during the military, many people followed Mohammed Murtala, that he did very, very well. There's so many things that he changed and that his country moved forward. You understand? People adduced that. If you look at even this Buhari Diagbon government, then the Y culture, the Q culture you still see today, some level of discipline you can still have now, the relics of it, was instituted by that government. You understand? But then I can say from Tafawa Balewa to Buhari of today now, that we have really nosedived. That is the truth. It means, for me, that's why I've been saying, it has to do with the person and not, because for only 100 days that Oshibanjo was allowed to lead this country, while Buhari was out there on medical, is it tourism now or treatment?
Medical treatment.
Okay, thank you very much. So he was giving that. Upon Oshibanjo for 100 days, you notice that our naira strengthened. You understand? He improved against the dollar, and then he took some decisions, which although he was handed down for, and maybe that is what may have been, he's actually till now, and all that in that as vice president. Things worked to some extent under him for just few days. He was allowed in government and all that. So
now let's come to Dr. Isibo. However, the two of you've tasted the military rule,
yes,
and of course you're part of the democratic rule.
Yes.
Dr. Isibo, where do you think we have missed it economically?
We've missed it long time ago. Long time ago. Right.
Which aspect? Which areas?
Right from what do you call this man? This Shagari president, when he came in, spending our money lavishly, not thinking about the future. I think that time maybe you have grown up. You will be hearing of Akinloye wine, champagne, Diko rice. They squander our money anyhow that time, and all along the thing has continued to. And when all these military people enter, in fact, it was worst. Is it a time of? My friend has said about Muritala. Yes, he tried a little. he tried. We can even buy rice, buy sugar at a very lower price. Now, the poor man cannot buy bread again. Gari, which is for the poor man, is beyond their reach now. What are we saying? What have we benefited? Either military or civilian, they are all the same. You have not gotten the foresight leader like Obafemi Awolowo.
Yes, you made mention of Obafemi Awolowo. Let's look at the style he brought in that you should, that you are now saying that we should imbibe now.
Thank you very much. First of all, Awolowo was a disciplined leader. He never aggrandized wealth or look for any sort. It's only after the masses. It's masses oriented. Free education, free medical services.
In the Western region?
In the Western, Bendel is part of Western that time.
But do you think that would have worked if it was to be?
It would have worked because they squandered our money, looted our treasury. I think we had about how people are now siphoning our crude oil. All over the place. When these Northerners took over the reins of power, they just bulldoze our oil resources. They don't care how to manage the resources. Now that we're supposed to be enjoying due to the Russia and the Ukraine something, nothing works. We are more worse than before. So it is the foresight of Obafemi Awolowo that make the Western region a role model for other regions. That's why I said we should go back to regions.
Okay. Let's look at monetization in politics. Now, the electoral process is fast gunning, and there's need for us to really find electoral integrity, having its way in our elections. What do you feel about the money bags, monetizing politics? And how do you think that can be checked?
Okay. It can be checked. But these politicians in power, they have pulverized the populace. People are now after money at all costs. No, there's no any empowerment. Economy is down. So, ordinary 1,000, some people can die for it because of election. That's why these politicians, they've accumulated a lot of wealth in which they are going to use in buying votes. You sell your conscience to them, you collect 5,000 to cook a soup, better soup. So the money basket has set. That is why my friend, who is a lecturer, cannot contest because there is no money in him. But if we want
Why
to
can
go,
be sponsored?
Who is going to sponsor him by those money bags? Who will recoup the money they spent on him? So what we are saying is that this thing will still continue. There's no way they can stop the money bags.
So we can't do without money in politics.
We can't do without money in politics because the poor man in the village will say, "What do you come for me?" Because he knows that once you get there, you won't remember him again. So what he will collect is what he will take for the next 4 years. So money bags, they are already.
Okay, let's come to Prof. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, that question you are asking is, you must understand that there's good money in politics and there's bad money.
Of course.
Yes.
There should be money in politics.
Yes, money in politics.
Because without money in politics,
yes, you can't move from one place to the other.
You can't campaign.
For using it wrongly.
Yes, that is what we're saying.
Against the ethics and the electoral laws.
So let's take a reaction to that.
Yes, going against the laws is what is wrong with money in politics. Otherwise, you need money, to move from one place to the other.
Campaigns.
Currently, there is a movement that is going on. In that movement that is going on, you hear that there is a slogan, "No shishi." What that means is that
don't give shishi.
You are not giving free money to anybody. Okay. It's money to work. You understand? People are bringing their money. I met some boys at James White in Benin here that are printing caps and printing T-shirts on their own. You understand? And giving people to popularize their own candidate and all that. They are not. But then in the other parties, for instance, you will find that the person is the leader that must bring money and give to the followers, the hangers on, let me use that word, to go and share and all that. And then the idea with that money is to pervert justice, is to pervert the electoral law. That's what we are talking about. That's the bad money. It's different from the good money.
Okay, Professor Yesele.
Yes.
When this government came in power, they frowned at importation.
Importation.
Yes, they stopped so many things from flowing into the country, and they felt we should go back to production.
Yes.
And some people are of the opinion that stopping importation of goods is one of the reasons why we find ourselves in this hard economy. What do you think? Should we go back to allowing things to start flying from other countries into our economy?
How there's no country that will approve that will approve importation of all sorts into her environment.
That will kill her economy.
Yes, it is not importation that is the problem. I mean, it is not that policy that is the problem.
So what
is the willpower to implement? For instance, you are stopping importation of rice into Nigeria. Meanwhile, the lands where people will normally go to grow rice are no more accessible because of bandits. So how can you now grow rice? Places where people are supposed to willfully. I met a driver, a public, a taxi driver in Benin here, and said that what took him to Bayelsa, what took him to Abuja was when he went to sell plantain from his the forest around us here. That was how he got to know Abuja, because he loaded a 911 truck and then took plantain. But right now he's driving taxi around Benin because he can no more access those bushes. Somebody said a few days ago that these people have even erected a borehole and mast in the forest around us here and all that. So how can people? That is the cause of the hardship. It's not because at the time China used what we call policy of isolation. That what they did was that they locked up all their borders and said nothing comes in.
Okay.
Let us develop whatever we are, and then are they not better for it today?
Okay, let's take our final lap on Dr. Samson Isibo as we wrap up this segment. Now, you made mention of restructuring, but restructuring, a proper or an assessment or perception of restructuring differs as our faces also differ. And what is in your mind? What's in your mind as per what should be done about restructuring?
It's very simple. First of all, they should decentralize the federal. Decentralize it. What should remain is the military, the police, and the federal. The rest things should go to the states.
Okay. What about state policing?
That's what I'm saying. State policing or regional policing. In abroad, we have a regional policing, police, we have state police, we have local government police. What is bad?
Would there be conflict?
There will be no conflict. There will be a streamline something for each outfit. So,
but again, some have also frowned on it. You react to that. You react to that. Yeah. But some have also frowned on it that having its way for state police to be implemented, some state governors could abuse it, use it against.
Is federal government not abusing the federal police, armed forces, civil defense? Is federal government not abusing them?
So does that give room for state government to also abuse?
They are not abusing. Have you seen them abusing Amotekun or Ebubiago or the one they set up?
They just started.
It's only now I say that we don't even know what is going on in this our state. They don't even think of anything. State police or the one we are seeing here, vigilante, in form of target or something. Nothing is working in the state. Other states, they have a very formal outfit. Our own, nothing is working here. We are talking of.
But are you not thinking about this? That if Amotekun, like you said, are given the wherewithal to hold arms, sophisticated weapons.
Yes.
Are you not thinking that in elections, like the general elections, for instance, state governments could use this security outfit for selfish reasons?
No, they won't use it because why? There are many other interest groups in that outfit. They can't use it. They can't use it.
What's the guarantee?
We have I know some governors who are very principled. They won't use it.
You said some. What about the others?
Well, I don't know, but I know that they won't use it. the federal, the real person, I mean, the real accuser in this thing is the federal government. They've been using to torment some state governments. They will not, okay, can a state governor give a directive to the commissioner of police here? He will not take it. He will go back to Abuja and take order from them. He will not listen to the state governor. What will you call that? Was it not federal government manipulating the state commissioner of police not to take order from the state governors? And moreover, if you say that in fact they can't. Look at what is happening in our surrounding now. I think somebody is mentioned that they've set up a post around the whole our state. You cannot move from here to there. The fear of bandits, the fear of S-men is the beginning of wisdom. So what we are saying is that let police...
You can't say the fear of herdsmen is beginning of wisdom. They can't be. They can't be as that.
My friend, unless you are beating about...
Okay, your final words on this. Your final words on this segment.
They are everywhere. They surrounded our state.
What's your advice? What do you urge the government? Your final words on this segment.
Federal or state?
Or both?
They should follow the law, implement the reconstruction we are waiting for, which is the parliamentary system of government, not a unitary system of government. And as election is coming, everybody should follow the INEC laid down regulation. Not that they will say, no, this is federal, this is state. No.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Samson Isibu, for taking the time to be part of this.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well,
thank you very much.
The conversation will continue after this break. Do stay.